Hi, everybody, and welcome. My name is Lynn West, and I am a certified interview and resume strategist. I'm also a career coach, a teacher, and the owner of Westwriter Communications. So I have a question for you. Did you know that the fear of interviews is up there with public speaking and even death? The fear of interviewing actually stems from our human need for approval and validation. So when you go into an interview, it's very natural that you are going to feel apprehension. Most people do. Now, the best way to get a handle on your fear of interviews is to, number one, stop beating yourself up. Stop saying things like you're not good enough, right? And then number two is to get prepared and start practicing. So to help you get prepared, I'm going to share a short PowerPoint presentation to help you match your competencies to the needs of the job that you're interviewing for and to help you create relevant stories to cement your abilities. So give me just a second here. It sometimes takes a moment when I share my screen, and there we go. And let's just put this into presentation mode. Alrighty, great. Everyone has a story. Actually, more like hundreds of stories that they can tell about certain situations they dealt with in the past. But the hardest thing is coming up with those stories when you're on the hot seat. In other words, face to face with an interviewer. So how do you bring your best stories forward? Well, first, and hopefully long before you begin applying for jobs, you need to build an accomplishment inventory. These are things that you've done well in your past and that have brought success to each outcome. All right. And then you need to start to strategize. So how do you do that? Well, first of all, you need to ask yourself, why is it that employers create jobs? Well, they do it to solve problems, right? And it takes certain types of competencies to solve certain types of problems. Before going into your interview, heck, before you even sit down to write your resume, you should go carefully, and I mean line by line, through the job poster for the job that you're applying for and determine the competencies that are required for the job. And they can be sneaky, these competencies. Sometimes you need to read between those lines. And for example, it may say that you need to perform duties, other duties than required, which when translated means that you need to be flexible or adaptable. And if you look just down, about halfway down the left column here, you see that flexibility and adaptability are mentioned because they are common competencies found in jobs. All right. Once you have a good sized number of competencies on your list, then you need to figure out which of your skills, your attributes, and your abilities match those. And so to help you, I created this tool to do that. Essentially, what you want to do is choose 5 of what you believe to be the top competencies for the job, and then list them down the left-hand column. All right. Then next, you want to start matching your qualifications to the relative competency. Right. So far, so good. Next, once you've determined the top competencies needed for the job and have matched your qualifications to them, now it's time to brainstorm relevant stories to tell. Now, if you built an accomplishment inventory, this process is going to be a breeze, but otherwise, you may have to really dig into the far reaches of your brain to come up with some good ones. All right. Remember, though, that the stories don't have to be work related. You may have experienced relevant situations while you were part of a sports team, while you were in school or in a volunteer role, for instance. You may be looking at this chart and saying, oh my goodness, why do I need to come up with so many stories? And I do recommend that you come up between 3 and 5 per competency. And it's because some competencies overlap, and you want to make sure that you don't run out of adequate material. Alrighty. And then next, you're going to use the STAR formula to present your stories. And this is the acronym and how it goes. So number 1, the S, describe the situation. Next, T, what task in the role did you play? Were you a team member, perhaps a leader or a manager? A is what specific action did you take to resolve the issue? And R is the result of your action. And hopefully it was positive, but if not, describe what you learned and how you can handle it better next time. The best thing about the STAR formula is that it can be applied to all kinds of interview questions. All righty. Now that pretty much winds it up for this presentation. And I hope that you enjoyed it and that you got out of it. If you have any further questions at all, please don't hesitate to drop me a line. If you are a Royal Road student, you know where to find me or how to get in touch with me. And if you are one of my boot camp clients, just send me an email to westwriter.today@gmail.com. Alrighty, everybody. Have fun, and we'll meet up with you again. Bye now.